Hey guys, it is June 9th in Phoenix, Arizona, and it's time for another update video. I want to do a little spotlight on this tree here. This is my peach tree. It's an Eva's Pride, and I planted this about a year and a half ago. And when I bought it as a 20-inch box and planted it here. I got fruit off of it last year. I probably got maybe 20 or so. This year, I'm gonna guess I'm somewhere in the neighborhood of 50. And so I've been coming out here each morning and there have been peaches on the ground. And so one of the things I love about this tree so far is just the time of year that it produces. So we're in June and this thing is producing right now. And one of the other peach trees I considered was a Florida Prince peach, which is supposed to be very good and probably does a little bit better here than the Eva's Pride as far as production and growth and just heat tolerance. But that produces in May. And in May, I already have apricots and mulberries. And so this kind of extends out my harvest and I get some fruit in the early part of June as well after I'm done with all my apricots. So this is a great tree to kind of spread out your harvest a little bit. The peaches are not huge, and you can see I've got them all bagged up because the birds will just destroy them if I don't. And so I planted it over here. This is not the best place for it. It's in the middle of the full sun. I mean, just the middle of my yard. So there's not really any protection. The sun rises over there and just kind of beats on this thing all day long. And so I planted it here because I kind of wanted to give a little bit of reprieve to my garden in the summertime. But in hindsight, I probably should have planted something else, maybe a fig or something that's a little bit more heat tolerant. This thing last year kind of started turning yellow. You know, kind of like this a little bit, but not quite this yellow. It's more like this. And I think the sun and heat made it struggle a little bit. So if I were to plant this again, I'd probably put it over here, give it some protection for my mulberry, but that's all right. It's still doing okay. You can see new growth here. It's grown probably about close to 2 feet, so it's not a real vigorous grower, not like my apricot tree is, which is put on 3 or 4 feet. But I do have the trunk wrapped cardboard, and what I think I'm going to do is plant something down here at the base just to help kind of cool it off a little bit, because I got this wall here. And so if I plant some oregano or basil or something like that, kind of like I did over here to protect this tree, the base of that tree was kind of getting beat down, so this basil protects it pretty well along with the cardboard down there. And so I think I'm going to do something similar with this peach tree. One thing I have noticed this year is that these peaches, as they turn bright red, the birds just go crazy for them. And so this is my first time experiencing bird damage actually through these organza bags. So they're actually pecking through the bag and into the peaches, and it's starting to piss me off because I want them. I left some on here for them, and they've eaten those all up, and so now they're trying to get in the bags. You can see one here that I left for them. So I'm trying to share, trying to share, but I want some too. Here is that this is kind of our area where we sit around our fire pit in the springtime, and this is pretty much the first tree to wake up, and it gets these beautiful pink flowers. And so when we're sitting out here, it only lasts about 2 weeks, but it just has these beautiful pink flowers that you look over this way, and it just really livens up the area. And it's also, it is deciduous, so I use it partially as a microclimate builder to help my garden beds, like I said, for shade. And then in the wintertime, when it loses its leaves, it lets the sun through back to the garden. So I have a ripe one up here, and I'm gonna grab it, take it inside, open it up, and show you what it looks like. This is an average size, and it's not a really big peach. It's like maybe a large apricot. Has this beautiful red blush to it. So I'll take it inside and I'll show you the inside of it. Okay, so here it is. I got it inside. This is kind of an average size. This is kind of an average color. You can see how red they get, which is why the birds like them so much. But I'm gonna open this up. If you give it a little squeeze, you can tell it's nice and soft inside, so this guy's fully ripe. So cut into it here. There it is, look how juicy that is. This is a freestone variety, but notice that the stone can be a little bit sticky. So you can see the juice in it is actually red. See how it's coming in there? So that's what they look like. So I'm gonna take a bite here. Wow, that's really good. This is the best one I've had yet. I've had a few of these over the last week, and this is probably the best one. This one's really sweet, very tasty. So there you have it. That's your Eva's Pride Peach. Hope you enjoyed the video.